Welcome to SuQuietSleep. I'm so glad you are here tonight. Find a comfortable position and let your body settle into the surface beneath you. Relax your shoulders. Release any tension in your jaw and soften the muscles around your eyes, brows, and face. Take a slow breath in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. With each steady breath, the sounds of your day begins to fade into the background. Now, let yourself drift into tonight's story. Tonight, we step softly into the noodle shop in the ward just north of the West Market in Chang'an. On the morning before the Dragon Boat Festival, the 5th day of the 5th lunar calendar, nearly 1,300 years ago, at the height of the Tang Dynasty. It is the hour before the world comes to life. The lane beyond the gate is silent. The air has the particular softness of early summer morning, not the cold pressing weight of winter, but something warm and still, carrying the scent of damp earth and distant water from the city's canals. The woman, who is the shop owner, has been awake a little while already. Most mornings, her work begins with noodles. By dawn, broth would be heating on the stove, dough waiting to be rolled and cut. Dumplings prepare for the day's customers. The menu changes with the season, and the ingredients available in the markets of Chang'an. But the rhythm of the kitchen rarely change. Today is different. This morning, her work is not noodles. A large clay bowl set out last night. Glutinous rice. The soft round grain used for Dragon Boat Festival food, soaking through the dark hours, sits on the prep table. The grains are soft and pale. Today, she will make Zongzi. It is glutinous rice wrapped in fragrant reed leaf, tied to parcel and slowly boiled for the Dragon Boat Festival. 4 neighboring households have placed their orders. She will make enough for all of them. The reed leaf will soak overnight in the large basin to soften, and they need one more wash before use this morning. She carries the basket of softened leaf out to the courtyard. The stone basin is where it always is, to the left of the bamboo, below the shelf. The plum tree holds its summer leaf without moving. The bamboo stands still beside it. She draws cool water into the basin. One by one, she lifts each leaf, long and flat, and faintly shining from the soak, and pass it through the water. Each leaf is checked with her fingers. Any torn edges, any thin patches that might split under hours of boiling. Good leaf go to the stack on the left. Any with damage go into the discard pile. The smell of wet reed leaf is clean and green. Something new that belongs only to this season. Entirely different from anything the kitchen smells like in winter. For a moment, she stands in the quiet courtyard. She placed the lamp on the high shelf where she always places it. She crouched before the clay stove. With the iron scraper, the cold ash is drawn out and set aside. Fresh charcoal is arranged inside. She opens the amber tube, a small clay pipe fitted into the stove wall for drawing air. She breathed gently into it. Somewhere deep within the charcoal, a glow begins to wake. A moment later, the paper at the base takes the flame. She does not rush the fire. It knows what to do every morning. The large clay pot goes on to begin heating. Not the broad pot she used for noodle stock, but the wide, deep pot kept for long boiling. It will take time to come fully to heat. The kitchen is warm at the edges of the lamp reach, dark in the corners. The smell of waking charcoal rises. The same smell as every other morning before the day begins. She lifts the cloth from the large bowl. Inside, the glutinous rice, soft and pale from its night of soaking. What comes out is translucent. It's soft white that seems almost to glow in the lamplight. She pours the soaked rice into the shallow bamboo basket, woven tightly enough to drain the water. The water runs through. She spreads the grain evenly to help them drain. Then she put the basket aside. The stove fire builds behind her. The water in the large pot is beginning to warm. The kitchen holds the quiet of early work. The small sound of the fire finding its rhythm, and the silence between. She lays the station on the long prep table. The stack of washed reed leaf, flat. Their smooth sides up. The basket of drained glutinous rice. The grains, pale and translucent in the lamplight. At the table tray, the small archway jar of jujube, dried red dates, dense and dark. Beside it, a shallow dish of chestnut. The pale kernels split open, softened from an overnight soak, and a basket set aside for the plain glutinous rice Zongzi, ordered by two of the neighbouring household. Several lengths of cord lying along the table's edge, cut and ready for tying the finished parcel. She stands for a moment and look at what she has laid out. Then she takes the first 2 leaves and begins. 2 leaves. They are white ends overlapping. She folds them in her palms. The leaf carving under her thumbs and the cone forming. She first put the rice into the base, then the filling, 2 jujubes at the center. Then add more rice over the top. The leaf folded down, 1 lap, then the other. The shape closing into a triangle. Some of the orders ask for chestnut instead. For them, a chestnut half pressed into the center. Pale, dense, less sweet than jujube, more earthen. Its flavor absorbed into the rice over the long boil. And 2 of the household has asked simply for plain rice, no filling, only the rice alone, which produce its own sweetness over hours of boiling. She fills the roll differently for each household. Jujube, chestnuts, or plain rice. This is the long session of the morning. Fold, fill, close. The motion is the same and slightly different each time. Different leaf bend differently. And also the filling. They sit differently in each rice parcel. The triangles are not also identical. Her hands move without deliberation. She finds this pace is gentler compared to noodle making, more settled, more patient. Nothing asks to be rushed. The row of finished glutinous rice parcel grows at the far end of the prep table. Outside, the first morning birds are beginning somewhere beyond the wood wall. Not yet distinct, just the suggestion of bird sound returning to the early summer morning. When a small roll is finished, she reaches for the cords, waiting along the table's edge. She winds the cord several times around the body of each parcel, around the white base and up towards the tip, keeping the folded leaf from opening under the long pressure of boiling. At the end, a knot, tight, flat, tested with a brief pull before she puts the parcel down. It should hold through many hours of boiling without loosening. She tests each one. A cord is thin but strong. She has used this material for many years for this purpose. The motion of tying is not something she has thought about in many years. It lives entirely in her hands. The finished parcel rests in their row, neat, triangular. Their leaf surfaces deep green and shining. The lamp on the shelf has been burning through the whole of this. The fire beneath the large pot builds steadily. The water warming through the thick clay walls. When enough are made to fill the white pot, she transfers them carefully. She places each parcel upright in the pot, point up, white base down, pack closely so they will not shift in the boil. She added more water into the pot and placed the lid. She returns to the table and continues making the next batch. The morning moves forward without hurry. The fire in the stove, the row of tied parcel growing steadily at the far end of the prep table. When the pot comes to a boil, she notes it and continues working. The water changes color slowly from clear to a faint amber green as the leaf releases into the water. The smell that rises with the steam is the smell of the Dragon Boat Festival and no other. The kitchen is filled with the smell of cooked reed leaf, sweet glutinous rice, something warm and starchy. She makes the second batch while the first boils. By midday, the kitchen smells entirety of it. She set down the last Thai parcel of the second batch and goes to the large pot. She lifts the lid. Steam rises in a full cloud. The full warm smell of the Dragon Boat Festival filling the kitchen in a single wave. The glutinous rice parcel wrapped in reed leaf are deep green brown now. Their cords still tight. She lift one and unwrap a corner. The rice inside, fully translucent, holding its shape, cooked through. She lifts the first batch out one by one and hangs them along the bamboo pole beneath the ray beam. The parcels hang in a row, free in the kitchen air, cooling on all sides. The second batch goes into the pot. The lid goes back on. Outside, the world has settled into its daily rhythm. Inside, the roll of finished glutinous rice parcel hangs from the beam. Green-brown, dense, cooling slowly in the warm air that smells entirely of this morning. And so, the noodle shop owner of the ward just north of the West Market spends the day before the Dragon Boat Festival in her kitchen. The fire burning steadily through the morning. The large pot filling the room with steam and the smell of cooked reed leaf and sweet rice. The smell that belongs only to this day and this 5th month. The rice parcels cooling in their rows. The world quiet outside. The Dragon Boat Festival only one night away. By evening, neighbors will come through the gate. Each will leave with their order tied neatly. Some for the festival table. Some carry to relatives in other wards in Chang'an. For now, they hang cooling from the beam in the quiet kitchen. in the particular air of the day before the Dragon Boat Festival. The world we visited tonight grows quiet now, and you can simply rest here, comfortable and at ease. Your mind can relax. Your body can soften. If you are already drifting into sleep, allow yourself to sink a little deeper. And if you are still awake, just listen to the quiet. There is nothing more to do, nowhere else to be. I'll be here whenever you need another peaceful moment like this. But for now, sleep well. Good night.